So when I left Peru, my mother said to me, you have to be careful because when you go from Peru and you move to England, you will never really be English, but you will never really be Peruvian again because you won't have been here for so many years. And it's inevitable that wherever you go will influence the way you think, the way you are, and will take you away from where you came from. My father said to me, don't forget that there is what you want, but there is also what life wants. And life is stronger than you, so it'll probably be more that direction. I had discovered a collection of dresses from the traditional costumes of Peru in the region of Cusco in the Andes. And I decided to document them to see if I could make a document that would represent some of the greatest treasures of my country. When I saw the reaction that this collection had on the people of Peru, I realized that it was very important to show people that what is theirs, what belongs to them, what forms their DNA is very important. This project led me to want to do more. I decided that I wanted to start embarking in the world, doing traditions that really had remained for hundreds of years and that slowly, with globalization, were being lost. I quite like this idea of traditions because I feel that that is what differentiates one country from the other. And even though we can all have the same access or the same ideals, we still should keep what is ours. So this is what made me create this new project called A Beautiful World.
His eye is always trained for beauty, right? So I think he's traveling the world and he's seeing a new type of beauty. It's probably a raw type of beauty. He's used to the very perfect mannequin, well thought out fashion photography, and suddenly he's able to capture the same feel, but from people who've never been exposed to a camera before. The whole experience is so strange to them. These tribes are not used to A, being put in a studio, and B, being told how to stand. So suddenly they're thrown into this completely foreign environment where someone's directing them. It's never something that they've ever had to do before. They always start awkward. They always start with a lot of fumbling, and inevitably the girls will giggle because it's so foreign to them and so strange. And then something happens, they click and they connect with Mario. I mean, I always find it so amazing to watch because I've never seen this happen before. And suddenly they are connecting to his camera and to him, and they suddenly go into these crazy positions that you would never see them in normally, and they do it perfectly.
A Beautiful World has a lot to do with belonging. I think that all of us want to belong to one place or another. Where do I belong to? Do I belong to my country? Do I belong to the religion that I was born into? Do I belong to the profession I've taken? All these things started playing in my mind and making me look for the answers everywhere I go.
I first started to see the change in Mario's work from a distance. And what I see is this enormous change that's taken place over the last couple of years. Partly because Mario went away from fashion and found a new kind of distance from the old material. And now he's able to look freely at the world, and he finds himself full of wonder. Mario's had a wonderful sense of composition from the first time he ever looked through the camera. And it's extraordinary because his context, which is the understanding of elegance, glamour, and beauty, he's actually applied that to people that have lived in a forest or never seen a camera in some cases before, or people who've lived in cities but have not been identified as fascinating or beautiful. And he's applied the same standards, which is a lifetime of looking.
I want the bird to look at me. Can they look at me?
He also has a very, very, very special and personal sense of color. He likes a certain kind of pigmented deep blue. He loves green, he loves black, and they are colors which actually are culturally important to him. They're the colors of South America. And now I see him finding colors all over the world, in different places. It's a fantastic project of editing, composing, and thinking about how the world looks through his camera. You can almost define the difference between a craftsman and an artist in the way that they change the way you look at the world. And in a way, of course, they are self-portrait.
Linda ahí, ¿eh? Casa es regia.
I feel very privileged to be able to document all these different ways of living, ways of thinking, ways of behaving, ways of dressing. And what does that make at the end but a beautiful world, a beautiful place to be, a beautiful place to inhabit and to enjoy what the world has given us.